Achoo! Achoo!
Achoo.
Achoo! Achoo! Achoo!
You hear the approaching ruin.
Oh man, Cyber Dragons. This is actually a deck that I don't have too much previous knowledge or experience with. The most that I've ever seen of Cyber Dragons was whenever I played with it a little bit during Duel Links. Of course, I did see it in the anime whenever I watched GX and saw Zane use it, and I was like, damn, this thing's crazy. And now in Master Duel, Cyber Dragons, I want to say, is in a very unique spot. I think it's similar to the Fluffle deck, where it's like this rogue deck that can actually compete with a lot of the top tier decks in the game right now. And I want to say, for what it is, if you want to get into a dragon deck, but not really be a dragon deck, you know what I mean? I think Cyber Dragons is a really good, like, entry point. They're kind of versatile. They, of course, want to OTK, and that's like their main gimmick. But in this deck as well, we have some stuff to kind of stop your opponent from doing stuff if we need to actually delay for a little bit. Of course, I will say this just right off the bat. This deck wants to one-turn kill your opponent. And whenever it doesn't, it's not like the deck is bad, but it definitely tends to start being like, okay, the glamour, the spice of this deck kind of starts to die down whenever you have to actually play the game. But before we get into the deck list, I'll show you guys to like and subscribe. You guys have been absolutely killing it recently with all the support on the channel. I can't thank you all enough. Literally all the Yu-Gi-Oh content has been popping off like crazy. We gained like over like 200 subs, I think, in the last like few days, plus tons of likes, tons of comments. Really appreciate every single one of those, by the way. And yeah, I'm gonna keep doing it as long as you guys keep supporting it. And if you're on the fence of subscribing, here, let me tell you something. If you ever want to unsubscribe, it takes the same amount of time to unsubscribe as it does to subscribe. Less than 2 seconds, baby. But hey, why not just go ahead and click it? Boom. Here's the deck list. So here comes the question. What can be replaced in this deck? What is the core? What is not the core? This right here is the main core, and then everything else I think is easily replaceable. Even Call by the Grave could be replaceable, but I just think that with the amount of hand traps running around right now, this is kind of needed in most decks, especially OTK ones. Same with Pot of P. Pot of P isn't necessarily required, but it definitely makes this deck a lot more consistent whenever you do draw a dead hand. So the main premise of this deck is to usually try to get out Cyber Dragon Infinity, which is our main boss monster. On top of Cyber Dragon Infinity, another thing that we're also trying to get out, if possible, would be our Rampage Dragon. The reason why this is so important is because this is what leads us to OTKs. If he's on the field, we could possibly OTK at any point on our turn. And another card that's like make it or break it is Anaconda. Anaconda is another card that we will probably be summoning a lot of the times to get onto the field. So now you may be asking me, well, how do we get the big monsters out on the field, right? Which I'm gonna be honest with y'all, showing you guys in game is gonna be a lot easier than me just telling you like this. But just know that baby cyber dragons, baby tiny cyber dragons, are very important to getting out our big monsters. So stuff like core, hers, along with cyber repair plant, machine duplication, cyber emergency, and even cyber rev system just in case something bad happens. Now we have the main core in our deck will actually allow us to get to the board that we want to get to. So Cyber Dragon Core, as I explained before, is extremely powerful because this allows you to search for any Cyber Dragon spell and trap on normal summon. So we're gonna activate it, search for any spell and trap. We're gonna search for our cyber repair plant, and we're gonna grab it. As you see, we have a Cyber Dragon in hand. So now what we're going to do is we're going to special summon Almirage onto the field. This will allow us to use our Cyber Repair Plant. The Cyber Repair Plant, this will allow us to add one light monster from our deck to our hand. So this is going to be a little bit different than how you would actually do it, but this still technically works. Since we don't have hers in our hand at the moment, it's like, oh snap, we're kind of screwed, but we do have Rev System. And instead what we could do is we could add Galaxy Soldier to our hand, activate Galaxy Soldier, the Cyber Dragon to the graveyard, activate Galaxy Soldier's effect, and this will actually draw us another Galaxy Soldier, which doesn't really matter too much. Since we didn't start with hers in our hand, we can actually just activate Cyber Rev System. Cyber Rev System will allow us to summon a Cyber Dragon from our hand or our graveyard, which since we just got rid of that other Cyber Dragon, we're going to summon that. And then we're going to Exceed Summon into Nova. Once we Exceed Summon into Nova, we got the big boy plays. So since there is a Cyber Dragon in our graveyard, Nova's effect is actually able to trigger, which is you can detach this monster and then special summon one Cyber Dragon in your graveyard. And since there's a Cyber Dragon in our graveyard, because core is there, this effect will actually go off. So what we're going to do is, this will actually help us with the one-turn kill. We're going to pop Nova's effect and special summon a Cyber Dragon. Now here's something that's really cool about Nova. We're going to detach the Cyber Dragon from it. Once we detach that Cyber Dragon, it's actually able to be selectable for a special summon. So we special summon it onto the field into attack position. You then are going to bring out Infinity by just Exceed summoning Nova. And then as you see there, we have Infinity on the field. And once Infinity's on the field, if there was an attack position monster on their side of the field, you could actually use Infinity's effect and grab it and make it your own. Or if they would activate any monster effect. This includes Nibiru, Ash Blossom, Maxi, anything like that, or any card effect of any kind, Infinity will be able to negate it. And now once we're like this is the reason why Almirage is in the deck. You can special summon Anaconda onto the field, get him out, and then you're going to activate Anaconda's effect. Anaconda will allow you to pay 2,000 life points, and then you get to send one fusion or polymerization normal or quick play spell from your deck to your graveyard. And then this becomes pretty much that card. So we're going to send our Overlord fusion into the grave. Upon sending that into the grave, we're going to special summon our Rampage. We're going to send our 2 Cyber Dragons into the banish. So we're going to select one, we're going to select the other. We don't need to select Infinity, don't do that. Once this is in attack position, you can then activate its effect to then get rid of 2 cards, which we're going to get rid of the hers, and we're going to get rid of the other baby Cyber Dragon, which by the way, this is majority of the time what you're going to be doing. And then you activate hers since we haven't activated this turn. And this will allow us to add 1 Cyber Dragon from our graveyard to our hand. As you see, we can add anything. And what we're going to actually add is we're going to add back our baby Cyber Dragon. Because why not? The same one we just got rid of is now back in our hand. So we can use it again next turn if we have to, just in case something like terrible happens. And since we actually got rid of 2 monsters with Rampage Dragon, we can now attack twice. And ladies and gentlemen, you know what that is? I said twice, but it's actually 3 times. Because it's twice for the 2 additionals and then 1 more for the bonus. And ladies and gentlemen, that's game. There's a lot of other ways to OTK, and I actually highly recommend that you guys check out this video. This guy actually goes into a lot better detail and explains this a lot more clearer than I could. It will be linked down below in the description, which will tell you pretty much all of the main Cyber Dragon combos you should probably know. So now it's time for everybody's favorite part of the video, OP's mid gameplay. Let's go. Now we're gonna do something a little bit different for this video compared to what my usual stuff is. I'm gonna actually just commentate over replays, and you guys will tell me down below if you guys like this more, or do you like more of the live, in the moment gameplays instead. Let me know down below in the comment section. I just want to try this out for one video and see if people like this more, or if they like the other style a little bit more. So this first game that we have here, I'm pretty sure this is a game where I went against Pendulums, which it is, and this guy pretty much, I'm assuming, had a dead hand for Pendulum. I'm not really too well versed in the Pendulum arts. But as you can see here, we have a wonderful Cyber Dragon hand. We got 2 Cyber Dragon cores, a Machine Duplication, Lightning Storm, which is very bad for him. To be honest, this hand, pretty solid. Especially with Dragon Core, no pun intended, he is like the core of the deck. And kind of makes everything run, you know what I'm saying? Without him, a lot of this deck wouldn't even be possible. So, we Lightning Storm right off the bat, destroy all the spells, activate Dragon Core, get our Cyber Repair Plant, Machine Duplication. We didn't even have to get Cyber Repair Plant. We could have went with something completely different, but I thought, why not? We're going to Link Summon into Almirage here, put Almirage out in the field. That allows us to use our Cyber Repair Plant if we want to. Go into Nova, and then we go into Infinity, and then we Link Summon the Cyber Dragon, the Almirage, off into Anaconda. And then with Anaconda, of course, we activate it to use our Overload, banish our 2 monsters from the graveyard, Fusion Summon into our Rampage, and ladies and gentlemen, this is a classic OTK. So as you see here, we activate Rampage, and we sent the hers, and we sent the Cyber Dragon Core. Cyber Dragon Core got sent back to the hand because of the hers effect, and it didn't even matter because that was OTK and he surrendered. That's showing off the OTK in action, which now coming to think about it, a lot of these duels are pretty much OTKs. And also, since the season just reset, that's the reason why this isn't in platinum or anything. And this is the last duel I want to show off. And this duel is not really an OTK. It's not a surrender. This is probably the toughest duel I've had with this deck so far. This is actually against Cyberverse, I think that's what they're called. And this was a tough one. However, we drew a pretty blessed hand here. Not entirely blessed, but it's decently blessed. And this guy kind of knew what he was doing too, because he did not play too hard into Max C here. Literally, he ends his turn. You know what this tells me? This guy reads cards, and he knows what he's doing to an extent. Instantly, I used Pot of Prosperity first. The reason why I used Pot of Prosperity first here was because I didn't want him to negate Cyber Emergency if he had an Ash Blossom. So that's why I used Pot of P here. He didn't have anything in his hand that was a hand trap or anything that was activatable at least, which means that I can go straight into Cyber Emergency from here. Activate Cyber Emergency, I get my Dragon Core, summon the Dragon Core into the field, we get our Repair Plant, and then here we can go into the classic, the good old spicy Almirage into the Galaxy Soldiers. So we use Cyber Repair Plant, we grab our Galaxy Soldier, we activate Galaxy Soldier's effect, we send the hers to the graveyard, Chain Link 1 Galaxy Soldiers, Chain Link 2 hers, Use the Hers effect to grab as a Cyber Dragon. Use the Galaxy Soldier's effect to, of course, grab as the last Galaxy Soldier. Activate Galaxy Soldier. Send our Cyber Dragon again. Bring out the one and only Nova. Once Nova's on the field, you know, send our Galaxy Soldier. Summon our Cyber Dragon back onto the field. Exceed summon into the Boy Infinity. And then Link summon, of course, into Anaconda. Now, I can't one turn kill here, so this is still like a pretty good play though to go with. And if I really wanted to, I could actually go into a Zeus play here, but instead I was like, screw it, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to send my cards to my graveyard. I'm going to grab his monster, and then I'm just going to go in with Infinity. He's going to take quite a bit of damage here, but not enough to, of course, one turn kill because all my damage is half due to the fact that I use Pod P. We now set our Cyber Overflow, and we set our Call by the Grave. As soon as he starts with his turn, I'm instantly knowing that he's going into Links, and he's going to be going into Access Code Talker. I know that's what he wants to get to. He wants to get to his Talker. Here, I Call by the Grave his Coder, and the reason for that is because Coder actually allows you to add a Psynet spell or trap card from your deck to your hand, or it could allow him to add a Cyberverse monster instead. I was more so scared of the spell and trap card than the monster, so I just didn't want him to get too off because, of course, he did have a code generator as well, and since this was used as a link material, he could add another Cyberverse card, so I just wanted him not to be able to get all of his resources back completely. And because of that, I negated Coder, and Coder was negated for, you know, the rest of the turn, which was good. So now he has Explorer, which I was like, shit, now I gotta deal with this. But thankfully, of course, we have Infinity on the field, which means that Explorer's effect is gonna activate, and we can negate with Infinity. As you see here, we negate with Infinity, we detach one. He special summons his Code Talker onto the field. Unfortunately, Code Talker cannot be destroyed by card effects, and he still winds up getting out his Access Code Talker, spoiler alert. And the reason why I actually used Cybernetic Overflow here was because I was like, shit, I don't want him to get out Talker, and he already used his normal summon, so I'm like, hey man, I don't want him to get this thing out. Little did I know he still could special summon it, because as you see here, he link summons off into Shooting Code Talker. Once he gets Shooting Code Talker, he's able to special summon this onto the field, and he goes straight into the demon of the deck, the thing that I was scared of the most, Access Code Talker. So once Talker's out on the field, there's nothing I can do, literally. He gets to destroy Infinity, he gets to destroy Anaconda, he gets to destroy Rampage, everything's gone. It's all going downhill, or at least it looks like it. As you see, I'm already pretty weak because I use Anaconda's effect. He does 53k to my dome. Thankfully, he couldn't summon another monster, because if he could, I would have been dead here, and I have 700 life points left. This is coming down to the wire, ladies and gentlemen. This is a true anime moment. And unfortunately for this guy, I was the protagonist. I activate Cyber Emergency. He activates Max C. I say, no, you're not drawing any more cards. We activate an Ash Blossom. Get that shit out of here. Cyber Emergency. What are we going into? We're going into one thing, because we need a machine. We need a dragon on the field. We get the boy Nash. Then normal summon the Nash. Nash grabs our Nova. Exceed summon our Nova off and grab our Infinity. The thing that I'm about to do, I'm going for the one and only here. And you guys should know what the one and only is. He's been on the channel quite a few times already, man. I'm going for him. I need him on the field. I need some protection. I need Zeus. Once Zeus is on the field, I know that I am somewhat safe, because for one, if he summons a 2-link Talker, where's he at? This guy. He cannot be destroyed by battle or your opponent's card effects. However, Zeus doesn't destroy. He only sends every card on the field to the graveyard. So I know in my head that if he summons him out again, thinking that he can counter Zeus's effect, he won't be able to. And also, I would need Zeus on the field too to get rid of my Nash to protect me, because any little thing can attack over this right now and kill me. He normal summons into Lady Debug. He then gets Micro Coder. He uses Micro Coder's effect. Winds up link summoning into Code Talker like I originally thought. So what does he do here? He activates Sunlight Optimization. I activate Zeus effect to it, and I completely remove everything on the field. And because of that, he ends his phase, turn changes, and then he surrenders. But yeah, this was Cyber Dragons. Fun deck. Not really a top tier deck though, but a really fun rogue deck to play. Highly recommend that if you want to learn this deck, you maybe look up some more research. Look at the video I actually linked in the description box below to learn the other Cyber Dragon combos as well. And that's going to be it for this one, man. Thank you all again for coming out. It's been your boy Peter. Like, comment, subscribe for more. And last but not least, you guys already know, don't forget to drink water.